Hello my amazing friend, we are live. Okay, coming to you from Queensland, Australia today. My name is Jay. I'm talking about jamming in the key of E. Do you find that sometimes when you're jamming with your friends you get stuck in the same ruts? Because if you do, this video could definitely be for you. Today we're keeping it really simple. It's the way I teach, right? Keeping it nice and simple in the key of E. So if your friend's playing an E chord, play along with me. What do? Do you play the same thing? Do you play that same E chord along with them? If you do and you're looking to expand and create some new ideas, I've got heaps of really simple and really expansive ideas to share with you, so you can be the king of the campfire, and next time you jam with your mates you're going to be rocking. So let's get straight into it. So the first thing I want to talk about is this is really relevant for an E chord. Okay. It can also be relevant for like an E minor. I'm going to show you how to change between the two keys with some of the improvisational ideas I'm going to show you today. But let's just start with the key of E major. So firstly, if you struggle even playing an E major chord, you could try just playing like an E power chord. It's a really cool idea that sounds great against an E. But today what I really want to talk about is getting up here on the fretboard. I want to talk about going up to the 7th fret and talking about playing octaves, because this idea is super expansive. Now if you don't know, I'll just show you where it is on the fretboard first so you can try it out. Maybe grab your guitar and we'll get into it. So my first finger is up here on the 7th fret of the A string. Okay, so the second string on the guitar on the 7th fret, and my third finger I'm going to stretch out a little bit here up to the 9th fret on the G string. Okay, now if I just play those two notes, all right, with my right hand there, those two notes are an octave apart. Okay, so now that actually gives you 3 octaves. With the right hand here I've got the low E, okay, and then I've got this E here on the 7th fret there, that one there, okay. They're both E's 1 octave apart. And then on that G string, that 4th string across, now with that 3rd finger, okay, that's also an E. So you've got 3 octaves of E right there. That's a really expansive sound. Now, if I hang my first finger over here so it just clips the edge of that A string underneath, that's going to make the edge of the D string, that 3rd string across, that's going to make that string a dead note. Okay, because the first finger on here is clipping that next string. Right, so that gives you this awesome sound. If you can actually play these 3 strings of the octave together, and only the first one and the last one are going to ring out. You wait till you hear how cool this sounds in a minute. So that means I'm just playing those octaves even though I'm playing the 3 strings. What it also means is I can actually play all 6 strings, and you get that huge sound of E. You got the low E, you got that E on the 7th fret, you got that E 1 octave above that, you've also got that same E on the high E string, so you got 2 of that same E. Okay, it kind of sounds like a 12th string, and that note here can either be a dead note if you're hanging that 3rd finger over like this. Okay, that string's actually a dead note. Or if you adjust your technique a little bit and bring it up, you can get that B string to ring out, which sounds beautiful too. So either way, if that B string there is ringing out clean, or if it's a dead note because that finger's hanging over a bit, then that's cool. And that, my friend, is an amazing sound to jam over an E chord. So while your friend's playing the E, and that's kind of all they know how to do, you can go up to that octave shape. Okay, you can either play it just with the 3 strings, like that. Of course, only 2 of those strings are ringing out, or you can play it like that. Now check this out, this is where it gets really exciting. You can actually move that shape around. So here I've just written that's exactly what I'm playing on the fretboard. Notice I've got that cross on that D string, so that note's dead. But I can actually move that up and follow like, you know, a major scale if it's a major key. So if I just move that same shape now from the 7th fret up to the 9th fret, let's have a listen to what that's going to sound like. So 7th up to the 9th, that sounds amazing. Of ideas you can do with this, right? And it's just such an awesome, beautiful sound. So if you don't know too much about music theory, well, one, feel free to check out some of my other videos or check out my 6-week beginner's guitar course or something like that. But even if you don't know anything about music theory, you can kind of just use your ears to take that idea up fret by fret, keeping that octave shape. Now, just what is an octave shape. If you're not even sure what exactly an octave is, it's the distance between, you know, so say you got an E, it's the distance up to that next E up higher. Okay, let's say if we're going up higher octaves. Let me show you in a different position, because there's a really easy way to work out octaves on the guitar. I'll show this to you. I do have an easy theory video as well, easy music theory, where I break this down on a piano and it's much easier to see. But just so you know, if you're on this E here, and you want to find its octave, the trick is you can go across 2 strings from that note. Okay, so 1, 2, and up 2 frets. That's a great way. So if you're playing a riff down here like E, okay, and you want to put that up the octave, okay, you got to find that E up the octave. So across 2 strings, up 2 frets. There's the octave. So I can now transpose that same riff up the octave. Up here. So cool. Okay, so that's always an octave, and that works off of the A string. So anywhere here, if you say you're on this note here on the 3rd fret, and you want to work out the octave of that, you just go across 2 strings, up 2 frets. It's always that same shape. That system also works on the low E string. So if you're on a G, you're playing a G chord, and you're playing a little riff in G. I'll make it even a bit simpler than that. Say something like, okay. You want to put that up the octave, well, you'd find the octave, you go across 2 strings, up 2 frets, there's my octave. I can transpose that same riff up higher. So there's the octaves off those low 2 strings. Okay, if you go up higher, there's a trick on it. I'll show you guys that in another video, because I want to keep it simple for today. Back to E. Okay, so I'm playing around. My buddy's sitting by the campfire, and my friend's playing this E chord. I say, Jay, play something that's, you know, some lead, something's going to fill this out a bit. So I can go. Okay, now I'm going to stay in the major key, so I know that I need to go up another 2 frets. Okay, and then even one more. You can just kind of experiment. Sorry, my guitar's just gone a little bit out of tune there. Humidity is crazy here today in Queensland. Cool, that's a bit better. So I'm up here. Okay, so I'm up here on that fret now. So you can just kind of troubleshoot it and work out what works. But I can tell you in the key of E major, you got 7. Okay, first finger, 7th fret. You're going to go up to the 9th fret. You can go up to the 11th fret. You can go up to the 12th. You can go up to the 14th. Okay, going down. You could go to the 6th. It's going to sound a bit crunchy. I would probably go to the 5th, which is more relating to a flat 7 in the key of E. I won't go into that theory rabbit hole, but going down, you can easily go 7th, 5th, 4th, and 2nd. Okay? Any of those options will work really well. So I'll keep that simple up here. Back down, 7th. Absolutely awesome over an E chord. It's going to sound fantastic, okay? You can keep that simple too. Like, check this out. If I take that same principle and just put it on, say, 2 strings. So now instead of hitting all 6 strings, what about if I just hit 2 strings? And what about if I bring in a bit of a palm mute? Okay, I'll just keep it even a bit simpler with the picking pattern. Just down, up, 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 down, up. Okay, just nice and simple like that. So what about if I go around that same pattern? You might even hear some kind of songs that you know, right? Now what about going back down? Okay, if I put some rhythm with that. Sound fantastic over an E chord. So cool. All right, let's talk minor, and then I'll give you some other really cool ideas for other sounds like this kind of Spanish or even Spanish Spanish gypsy scale kind of ideas. Kind of gives you that Middle Eastern sound, which I absolutely love. Before we do that, let's talk minor. Really, the only note you need to change in that sequence is this guy here. Okay, that instead of going 7th and 9th and 11th, we now need to go 7, 9, and 10. Okay, that's it. So that'll change everything really you need to worry about for the minor keys. So that's if your friend's playing E minor by the Campfire. Okay. We've got more of that E minor sound, or we can have sounds so good. Okay, just that one change. The rest, everything else can kind of stay the same as it was before. Okay, even going down, you still got that 5th, 4th, 2nd. Okay, 2nd there, 4th, 5th. So cool, so. Take you a while to get that shape of the octaves comfortable, but man, it's so worth it. Again, if I just play 2 notes, I can't stress enough how important rhythm is. Like, rhythm is 100% the key. I always say to my students, I can play all the wrong notes with awesome rhythm and you'll think it sounds awesome. I can play all the right notes with bad rhythm and it just sounds terrible. So always focusing on rhythm, make sure you're practicing your rhythm and playing in time, always super important. Cool. So one last idea for this video. I'm going to also give you a this is kind of like the first sort of 4 notes, I'd say, of like what we call like a Spanish gypsy scale. Kind of sounds something like this. It's that kind of sound, which I really love. If we just take the first like 4 notes of that scale on with that same idea on one string, be here on the 7th fret, then up to the 8th fret, then up to the 11th fret, and then the 12th. Okay, so I get this sound. So cool. Okay, what a wicked sound. 7th, 8th, 11th, 12th. Okay. 7th, you could also add in the 5th. Okay, works really well as well. So now that gives you this sort of sound. If I just do it, I'll do it with the octaves first. With only 2 strings. You can even go right up to that 14th. Back down from the 7th, you can go. Yeah, you could go 7th and 5th, 3rd. That's so cool. And then down there, what a wicked sound. Now that's not going to probably sound as great over E major, but it'll sound pretty good over E minor. And what it will sound really good over is a power chord. So if you're jamming with someone by the Campfire and they're just playing like an E power chord, even, you know, something simple like that, and then you got that idea. Love too, often playing right back on the pick, on the strings. Okay, you can get some really nice, bright, real kind of Middle Eastern sounds. So there is some super cool thoughts around this for today. I hope you enjoyed that. Please leave a comment. Please subscribe to my channel and like this video if you dig it. I'm going to be bringing heaps more ideas. This channel is all about bringing ideas that expand people's perception on the guitar really easily. So without having to know too much theory, just being able to play really expansive ideas. So if you're into that and you want to be the king of the Campfire, jamming out with your friends and be able to endlessly create, you're in the right place. I think I'll save more on this for the next video. I'll take it up onto the high strings and relate that, show you guys some octaves around some of the higher positions and stuff like that. It's a beautiful sunny day here in Queensland. I am going to have a beautiful day ahead. I wish you the same. Much love. Thanks so much. Till next time.